Hey Toolerinos. I don't remember where I got this. I think it was at a yard sale and it was pretty inexpensive. And I had originally given it to my uncle, but he wasn't really doing anything with it and it was just sitting outside as a decoration. And George would really like to have a way to make some heat in his shop with wood. So we decided to rescue this from being a yard decoration for the rest of its existence and try to put it back into service. The bottom sheet metal was completely, rusted gone. So I went to Dollar General and picked up a $5 cookie sheet, Good Cook, and it was 10 inches by 14, I think, and we basically needed 10 by 10.5. So that worked perfectly well. We cut it out and fit it on the bottom, and it seems to make a pretty good seal. We still have to come up with a pan to use to slide in and out of there as an ash pan. But this part is present, and it seems to fit perfectly. And you can adjust how much air you can let in from underneath. The door is also present, and it seems a little wobberjockey on there, but it has to go up to rest on this little notch. And again, it seems to fit quite nicely around there. And this too is adjustable to let in more or less air. And then on the inside, there is a little flipping grate down there. It's too dark to see down there, but it works. You can use this to flip it back and forth to knock the coals and the ash down. The only thing missing is this part here. We need a piece of metal, circular piece of metal to fit in there. So that's something we got to work on. And of course, we needed to make an adapter for this weird oval shape to go up to something we could fit other piping to. So I just used like a piece of 6-inch and wrapped it around, and it's, sort of folding around on itself, but with lots of screws, no problem. My plan is to cut this in half and fit them together as a heat shield to put behind or next to this to sort of protect whatever it's closest to from direct heat. And using inexpensive pieces from Habitat for Humanity, I was able to pick up odds and ends to put something together for the exhaust. It's going to have to go out like at a 45-degree angle, which I would prefer, not having it horizontal. I did that in the garage of my youth, and that pipe would eventually start to plug up with ash being deposited in there. So hopefully with an angle, it won't be so much of an issue. Alright, well, until we get something better, I just cut a disc out of this old stainless steel pot lid to use to fill the circular hole in the wood burner. It's stainless steel. It's not super thick, but it's not super thin either, so hopefully that'll work for a while. Okay, we've got the little Potbelly stove in his shop. We actually added this little piece of wall last year when we thought we'd get a wood burner put together out here so that there's some place for the exhaust to go out for the chimney, and then the door just doesn't get shut, all the way on this side. So this is our first go around. We put some heat shields around it so that we don't catch anything on fire. But first burn, we'll see how it goes. And we'll say that these stovepipes and things are crazy expensive now at Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff. We picked these up for $1 a piece at Habitat for Humanity. So, it took a couple trips of stopping and seeing what they had to find the pieces we needed. But it worked out, if you've got the time to stop and take a look from time to time. It's worth it to save the money. And so here's our little cover for this. Fits very nicely, so hopefully it makes a good enough seal and it won't make any problems. While we're back here, my son would like me to show you his his riding boots, and the sole started to come off pretty bad. So he sewed it together with lock wire, and it's been holding up pretty well so far. All right, it's lit. It's burning. Let's take a look. There we go. Yep. And we haven't made an end for the pipe yet. We're too excited to light it up and make it work. So there it is, the latest upgrade to my son's shop. You like it?
Yep, I have a heater before you do.
Good point. What's wrong with this? Well, George tried burning wood in his Potbelly stove, and he'd like to try burning coal. So we picked up a couple bags from Tractor Supply. We'll give it a shot. And George is burning some coal, and he made himself a little shovel with some vice grips and a bit of metal for shoveling in the coal. And let's take a look. Ta-da! It's official. He's got a Potbelly stove burning coal. Pretty cool.